it up. I've been fighting every night, I'm trying to get this money up. Said there's more to life, but I can't give it up. I need a timepiece flooded with baguettes, VVS. I wanna P1, guess I never need one, but I wanna see one. So fast, I've been moving so fast. I just hope I don't crash.
What's up, y'all? Well, welcome back to my channel. And yeah, I'm gonna do another part to What If Naruto had a vampire bloodline. And now, let's get into this. Now, Tazna and all of his shinobi present, right, looked to the other end of the bridge to see Gato, the thug army behind him, clapping at all the events that just happened so far. Well, Zabuza, he said, sounds like you plan to betray me. Not like it makes that much of a difference. I wasn't planning on paying you anyway. He finished with a smirk and a chuckle. He then turned his attention to Naruto. And you. You scared away my best enforcer. But he left a few tidbits of information. Vampire, he said, causing Naruto to scoff. Allow me to finish him, my dear, said Naruto, turning to Haku, and consider it a wedding gift. Tazuna once again smirked. You don't think I held Bane off with just money, did you? This is business. We always have a backup plan, he said, pointing at one of his lackeys. Said lackey pulled out a crossbow that fired a single bolt at Naruto, who caught it. However, he soon screamed in pain as his hand begins to start burning. Quickly threw the now recognized silver on the ground. It too was in flames and melted on the unfinished bridge as if it was just a part of just anything, of a forge. Holding his hand, which was healing at a great deal, much more slower rate than usual. Naruto sent a glaring snowl at the now laughing crime lord. Feeling greatly annoyed, Naruto began transforming into his creature form and letting out a blood-curdling shriek, beginning to run at the group. Gato and his thugs, unaware that Naruto could transform into such a beast, were in a panic. Jumping and using his wings to glide slightly, Naruto landed in the middle of the group, picking up one of the thugs. He let out a roar as he tore his arms off, grabbing the thug by his other arm and hurled him off the bridge. Catching on, Kakashi created several shadow clones and took on several members of the group. Haku, using her bloodline, formed the ice mirror and walked into it, before several other mirrors formed around the battlefield. Though at that point, it was more of a slaughterhouse, pretty much. Coming out of random mirrors, she would grab the closest thug and slit their throat. Gato, seeing his army being taken down as if they were paper, began to run, hoping to avoid the attention of the shinobi. He wasn't so lucky. Going somewhere? He hurried before being picked up by a horrifying creature that Naruto had become. Please, let me go. You can have anything. Money, women, whatever you want. Just let me go. Naruto appeared to ponder it for a moment before saying, okay, I won't kill you. But much to the relief of the crime lord, however, that relief turned to dread when he continued. But I guaranteed he will, indicating Zabuza. Hey, Zabuza, catch, he called out, throwing Gato over to the waiting man, swinging his sword. It appeared as though Gato had gotten by unscathed. By when he landed, his upper body separated from his lower body. Zabuza had just cut Gato clean in half. Upon seeing this, Sakura threw up. Sasuke, who had just watched the whole event take place, was just absolutely pissed off. Why doesn't he have these powers like they have? That fury centered into fear and excitement, however, when Naruto, back in his human state, turned to Sasuke and said, "Do us all a favor, Sasuke, and make them extra crispy," before linking arms with Haku and disappearing. Turning to Kakashi, who nodded as Sasuke used Grand Fireball Jutsu to burn the body of Gato and his men. Time skip to the next morning. Bao and Naruto thanked Tazuna and his family for their hospitality before the group set out for Konoha. Naruto himself was surprised at Haku. He had just turned to her that morning, and he had expected her to be weak from the process. However, she seemed to be just as strong as ever, as she walked alongside with him. Though she was a tad bit paler and seemed to be trying to adjust to her heightened senses. As the group continued on, Naruto pulled out a bottle of something and took a swing at it. He then offered some to Haku, taking a drink. Her eyes widened as she began drinking as if she's been on the desert without anything to drink for days. Naruto asked Sakura, "What exactly is that?" Though she knew she wouldn't like the answer. "Remember the army of thugs? Well, I kept some of them to drink later. That would be their blood, or what's left of it anyway." Upon hearing this, Haku spit out what she had in her mouth and just threw the bottle away, only for it to be caught by Naruto. "Come on, my dear. You knew that you would have to drink blood sooner or later. And now you don't seem to have a problem with it before you knew it was blood. Nor did you have one, nor have you had when I offered it my blood earlier to turn fully into one." "Suck it up, no pun intended," said Naruto to Haku, who was at the point draining Naruto's water supply to get the taste out of her mouth. Haku looked sheepish for a moment before schooling her features behind her could just dreadfully make out Zabuza just laughing. After only about noon, the group made it back to the Konoha gates, having ran most of their way after the bloody bottled blood incident. Reporting to the Hokage Tower, Kakashi gave their mission report. Afterwards, Naruto gave his support for Haku and Zabuza and officially put them under his clan's protection. Excuse me. Once everyone else had left, Naruto asked Sarutobi to officially marry them then and there. So now, after showing Haku and Zabuza the Namikaze estate, he decided to give Haku a tour of the entire village. However, he had more than leisure time with his new wife on his mind as they entered the Hyuga compound. "Halt! State your business," said one of the guards. Byakugan activated. Yes, Lord Hyuga must be expecting us," replied Naruto, in no-nonsense tone that caused Haku to wonder what was going on here. The two were brought into a beautiful garden, where the Hyuga clan head was waiting for them, waiting up to Hisashi. The two vampires bowed before Naruto, and Hisashi smiled at each other. "Hello, Naruto. I see you finally found yourself one of your brides," said the clan head. "Yes, which is actually why I'm here, to expand my family just a bit further, as I'm sure my shadow clone explained," replied Naruto. "Ah, straight to business as usual," said Hisashi. "Yes, your clone did give me quite a bit to think about concerning my daughters. So, do we have a deal?" asked Naruto, causing Haku to roll her eyes. He sounded like he did yesterday when she accepted his proposal. "Yes, as a matter of fact, we do. I have already sent a branch member to bring Hinata's team here as witness. And I have sent my nephew Neji to bring both my daughters here. Ah, here they are now." Haku turned to the three people walking in. One was Neji, second was Hinata, and third was, Hanabi. Next walked in another group. Naruto recognized them as two Genin and couldn't remember their names, just their clans and their sensei, Kurenai. As they all gathered, Hisashi took an official look at looking at the document out, and using his blood, which for some reason made Haku feel excited, he assigned his name on the paper. After which he applied chakra, making his signature turn black as ink. Afterwards, Naruto did the same and just signed both the Namikaze and Hyuga clans were stamped on as well. He had Haku sign it as well. Finally, Kuronai's signature as well as her team's were collected, though they had no idea what they were being witness to. Putting the paper away, Hisashi looked at the entire group. An agreement has been made for an alliance between our clans, he said. To seal the alliance, Lord Namikaze, I present to you my daughter. He continued earning gas from everyone aside from Naruto and Haku. Lord Hugo, you can't be serious, said Kuruna. You would marry off Hinata to someone she doesn't even know? As she says this, both Naruto and Hisashi look at each other before starting laughing. What is so damn amusing about this? Demanded Kuruna. It's simple, said Naruto. I don't want Hinata as my wife. The deal was that Hanabi would be adopted into my clan as our daughter. He finished while wrapping an arm around Haku, once again earning gas from everyone. You see, no offense to Hinata personally, but she would never be able to handle the vampiric bloodline. She's too gentle, too nice, too kind. She wouldn't last in my clan. As for adopted Hanabi, I am not only already married, I am a clan head, giving me clan status, and as a shinobi, I am an adult in the eyes of the village. She herself is only 8, but I'm 16, twice her age. So, don't say anything about that. As for other reasons I chose Hanabi, it's that she has been more influenced by the clan council than Hinata. And it is exactly why I believe a vampire should be more like. Not only that, but with Hanabi gone, Hinata can become a clan head without question, and eliminate the cage bird seal you all hate so much. It's pretty much an all-around win-win deal for everyone included. Aside from the Hyuga Council, of course. Kuruna looked thoroughly for a moment before responding. That actually makes a lot of sense. Doesn't it? Said Naruto. Pack everything you feel you need, said Naruto to his new daughter. The two of us will be back in a few hours to escort you to our place, he finished. The two began to walk out, but was stopped by Hinata. But what about the council? They won't like you having the possession of the Byakugan, she said. Surprisingly, without her stutter, Kuronai noticed. My bloodline will take dominance over the Byakugan. She will keep her bloodline, but should she ever have children, it will not pass on to them, replied Naruto as he and Haku left. You really just adopted a kid? Questioned Haku with a skeptical look on her face. I did no such thing, replied Naruto. We adopted a kid. After this declaration, Haku smirked and said, You tried to deny it, but your actions are proving me right. Right about what? Said Naruto, seeming for the entire world completely oblivious. That you really do have a heart. You care. And we both know that, replied Haku in a sing-song voice before taking off running. Realizing what she just said, everything clicked in place before Naruto began to chase for her, shouting, You take that back! But in the Hokage office, Sarutobi chuckled at the antics of Naruto and his new spouse. She seemed like she could make him, or at least for a while, really get back into his humanity. She knew that if she said anything about it, she was going to get Naruto back into his old self, bit by bit. Putting away the crystal ball, he replaced with a small orange book. Take it back, Haku, shouted Naruto. He hated to admit it, but he was actually enjoying himself. Make me, my dear husband, yelled Haku before bouts of laughter. She too had so much fun in years so far. No more running from the real hunter and no traveling from place to place, earning a living by killing people. Okay, technically, she still had to kill to live, or would at some point, but she thought she could handle it. Turning around a corner, she suddenly stopped cold. As Naruto ran behind her, he too stopped. In front of them were two people, though he couldn't see their faces. One appeared to be a girl slightly older than the other, slightly older than themselves. She had blonde hair tied into four pigtails in four different directions. The other wore a black suit that made him look like a cat. They could tell that by the voice this was a guy, and his hand had the Hokage's grandson, Konohamaru, hosted into the air. Across the alley stood Sakura and the two other kids, probably Konohamaru's friends, seeing the cat person preparing to hit Konohamaru. Naruto, in the blink of an eye, grabbed the cat guy's wrist and twisted sharply, threatening to break it. Haku quickly came behind the blonde girl and had a Sanbon at her neck, though she was trying with all her might to keep from biting and draining the girl. I suggest you put the Hokage's grandson down. Unless, of course, you want to cause an international incident, as you obviously from the sand village from your headbands. And the fact that you never heard of a puppeteer that wasn't from the sand village, he said in a cold voice. Kankuro quickly dropped Konohamaru, shocked that he was about to hit the grandson of the Hokage, but even more shocked that he was recognized as a puppeteer. If you're wondering, I can tell this is a puppeteer because I cannot feel or hear any blood pumping through this piece of chunk. Turning to the tree nearby, he continued, "You can come down now. I know you're there." Sasuke suddenly jumped down from where he was perched. "Not you," said Naruto, still glaring at the tree. The group looked up and was shocked when seeing a redhead with I guess, what would you call that, on like the sand thing on his back, I guess. Using his sand, he appeared in front of the two Genin. They looked as if they were about to shit themselves. "Gara, that kid bumped into me. He had to cut. You're a disgrace to our village, Kankuro." "Be quiet or I'll kill you," said the redhead, now named Gara. Turning to Konoha residents, Gara said, "My name's Gara of the Desert. These two are my team, my brother Kankuro and my sister Tamari. I apologize on their behalf of my siblings." "No harm done. You're here for the tuning exams, aren't you?" "The name's Naruto Uzumaki, and these are my teammates, Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha." "You are correct, Naruto Uzumaki. We're all here to participate in the tuning exams." "You are interesting. Hope to face you in the exams." "You can help me prove my existence," he said before he and his siblings turned and walked away. "Hey, before you leave, would you like to grab something to eat?" "My treat," said Naruto. Turning back to the group, Tamari and Kankuro looked at Gara, who said, "Alright, we can get something to eat." "Great," said Naruto. "I know this great restaurant not too far from here. They have just about everything you can imagine." "I'm sure that's an exaggeration, Naruto," said Sakura. Turning to his pink-haired teammate, Naruto replied, "They even serve my special drink. I think it's the only place in the village that does that." Upon hearing this, both Sakura and Sasuke froze at them for a moment, not going to unannounced by the Saiyan siblings. Naruto and Haku took the lead, followed by Gara. Tamari led close to Sakura and said, "What's so special about this drink?" Sakura looked hesitant for a moment and replied, "He drinks blood. Sometimes sucks it right out of people. This time, it was Tamari who was frozen in fear. And it was probably worse than she knew how excited her brother gets when he sees blood. "Oh, this isn't going to go well," she says. Now, this is where I'm going to end it right here. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, tell me what you think, and I'm on my road to 2K. And so with that being said, I'm out. Peace. See you later, ladies and gentlemen.